We're going to look at converting decimals to fractions. So decimals to fractions. And I think the first thing we have to wonder is, what does the decimal mean? When we have a decimal like 0.25, what does that mean? What is the place value? So I think we have to go back and take a look at our place value. Here's a note I have. What does the decimal mean? Always check your place value. So if you have 5268 over 10,000, what we did earlier in our previous video was converting to decimals. And what we knew was this denominator is larger, so it's going to be 0 point. And to determine how many places we're going to count here, 1, 2, 3, 4 places. And we had 4 at the top, so this is a straight conversion. Now that we've done that, then we need to stop and ask ourselves, what do these places mean? So this 0.5 is in the 10th place. The 2 is in the 100th place. And being in the 10th place means that this would be 10th, 100th, 1000th, 10,000th place. And if you remember from your place value chart, you have your ones and tens and hundreds and thousands going this way, getting larger as they are going left. And then on the other hand, as they're going right of the decimal point, they're getting smaller. The 10th, the 100th, the 1,000, because really what this is saying is you're getting a smaller and smaller piece of the pie. So in this case, we have a cake, and they're cutting it in 10 and giving you 1 slice. So you're getting a big slice of the cake. If they cut the same cake in 100 slices and you only get 1, you're getting a much smaller piece of that cake. And if they take that birthday cake and cut it up in 1,000 slices, the slice you get, you'll hardly be able to see it, will be really, really thin. So you know 1 out of 10 is larger than 1 out of 100. And 1 out of 100 is larger than 1 out of 1,000 because you're getting a bigger piece of the pie because the pie is cut in smaller pieces. So this cake, you're getting a much bigger slice of the cake when they only cut 10. It's only cut in 10 and you're getting 1 slice. When they cut it in 100, like feeding the whole school, and they give you only 1 piece, that's really, really small. And if your school is a much bigger school, if imagine that, and there are 1,000 students, and they cut the same birthday cake into 1,000 slices, you'll only get a really, really small piece. And that's what's happening. As you're moving to the right of the decimal sign, it's getting much smaller. When we're going to the left, it's getting larger. So when we're talking about decimals, we're talking about the further from the decimal sign the number is, the smaller it is. Okay, so now we can go back here and see that this 8, although it's a larger digit, is the place that it's in, and this is the importance of place value. The place that it is holding makes it way smaller than this 2, because the 2 is the 100th, which means this is cut in 100 and you're getting 2 slices. This is in the 10,000th place, and that means 10,000 slices of cake, and you're only getting 8 out of it, right? So it's important for you to see that even though this is a 5 and this is an 8, this 8 is smaller, has less value than the 5. The 6 has less value than the 5 because it's further from the decimal point. So as it moves away from the decimal point, it's getting smaller. So the largest number here is the one closest to the decimal point. All right, so let's try out some conversions now. Let's try out converting this fraction, this decimal to a fraction. This is really easy. Converting decimals to fraction, I think you will find it really easy because we're going to look at this becomes how many places? 1, 2, 1, 2. And we're just going to put this number at the top. Very easy. What about 0.08? Same thing. How many places? 1, 2, 1, 2. What's on top? It's 8. Very easy. We'll do the same thing for 0.04. 1. How many places? 1, 2. What's on top? 4. What about 0.4? Same thing. How many places? 1. Put it on top. Very easy. What about 0.5768? Same thing. 1. How many places? 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double check. And then write your numbers on top. Very easy. What if it has 1.65? Then what do? It means that this is going to be a mixed fraction. You'll have 1, and then you draw your line. Continue this. How many places? 2. This is on top. Nice and easy. How about, say we have 8.2. What do? 8. How many places? 1. This is 8 and 2 over 10. Very nice, very easy. And then all you need to do is to remember this is the 100th place, you have 100. This is in the 10th place, you have 10. And we use the last digit here to determine what goes here. So this 5 is in the 100th place, it's going to be 100. If you remember that, it will make it easy for you too. This is in the 10th place, it's going to be 10. This is in the 100th place, it's going to be 100. 100th place, it's going to be 100. This one is the 10th, 100th, 1000th, 10,000th place. So it's going to be 10,000. Very easy. Hope that helps.